guys, it is me. I'm still ill. Like, if you watch my videos, you'll know that I've been ill. A girl is still ill. Okay, so if I sound like a man still, you know why. So now that we finished Fable, I thought it would be fun to like rank all the characters. So all the characters from 2 and 3, because those are the only games that I've done on stream. So we're going to be ranking all the Fable characters minus Fable 1. Okay, I'm going to go from top to bottom. So the bottom is going to be trash. The bottom column, is trash. The second to lower bottom column is okay, but not impactful very much to the story. They're just sort of there. Middle is going to be slay. The middle section is going to be slay. My lower top, so the second to last, the second to the top, the good columns will be goats. They're the goats. And the top column, which is only allowed to have one person in it, so I've got to select one special person for this one spot, is King of the Chickens. Let's do this because it is going to take me a while to get through everyone. First up, we have Garth. Garth is from Fable 2. He is sort of in the main story, not really. Like, you go to rescue him from his prison cell, you get him out, and then he comes out with just like an attitude, even me, and I loved him for it. Anyone who watched my Fable 2 series will know that I bought the Garth Tower thinking that I would get to see Garth again once everyone had left and I finished the game, and I didn't get to see Garth. This was my first time meeting Chesty, who we're also going to rank in these charts, and I was a little bit distressed about that, just a little bit. I was a little bit mad. He tricked me because he was like, oh, maybe we'll see each other soon, and my brain's thinking, okay, Garth's Tower, we'll see him there. No. Other than that, I think he's a pretty valid character. I feel like he deserves a good spot for Fable 2. There isn't a lot of Fable 2 characters that we are going to be putting in the charts. They're mostly from Fable 3, so we're going to give the Fable 2s a little bit more leverage. Garth is going in slay. Slay to Garth. Next up, we have Hammer. Now with Hammer, I feel like I actually got to know her as a person. I feel like in Fable 2 with the main characters, you don't really get to know a lot of them, their stories, their backgrounds. They're just sort of there, and you just have to make sure you're listening to hear little bits of information. But I feel like you don't actually fully get the rundown in the story. So Hammer is like one of those characters I actually feel like I got to know, and I learned quite a lot about her story. Obviously we watched her dad die, spoiler there, but we watched her dad die. That weird voice.
You're coming with me, or you don't.
Whoa. We went through a lot with Hammer. I feel like she deserves a good spot as well. She's gonna end up in GOAT. She is in the GOAT section. Next up, we have Teresa. Teresa is only going to get one place. I know she's in Fable 2 and Fable 3, but they don't do much to her character in between those games, so she is just going to get one place. You're going to hate me, but I'm putting her in the GOAT category, obviously. Teresa is a bad bitch. I said what I said. I read that quite a lot of people don't like her. I was shook. Teresa is so relevant to the story that I would go as far as to say that I need her in Fable 4. If she is not in Fable 4, I will be miserable. I will not be happy. I don't want just like a reference to her. Like, she needs to be there. It is a necessity that they put her there. And Reaver. That takes us to Fable 2's villain, Lucius. I hated him. I hated him with a passion. This man shoots me as a child, kills my sister in front of me, throws me out a window, and then chases me down. Like, I don't actually see him though, so I don't see him for the rest of the game, and then I see him right at the end when he steals all my friends from me, all the squaddy, the gang, he steals them from me, runs off with them, and then like the end scene is just me shooting him down. Like, karma is a bitch. I feel like I needed more. It went from him shooting me as a kid just to me doing all this stuff, like, which was great. I loved doing it. I loved Fable 2 as my favourite one, but just doing all these quests, and then he's just at the end and bang bang, that's it. For that, he is going in the bottom category, trash. Finally, we've put someone in anything other than GOAT. That is where he belongs. He's not a great villain, and he belongs in the trash. Our next contestant is Reaver. I'm going to be rating him in Fable 2 and in Fable 3 because there is very drastic changes with Reaver in both series, so we're gonna put him in both. 2 Reaver is the best Reaver. I love him. When I met him for the first time, he was shooting people because they were drawing his portrait, and he was shooting them because he wasn't happy with it. And I was like, that is such sassy girly energy. He's one of the girls. He is one of the girly. I didn't like him at first. I wasn't a fan. Not because he was a villain and he was shooting people, just because he was really rude and he tried to kill me and he tried to take my youthness away just so he could stay young forever, and I didn't like that. After we went in the bookcase and we were on the same team, he started trauma dumping when he was trauma dumping through the caves. Oh my god, that's when I knew. I was like, we are meant to be best friends. We need to be besties. And he just left. Not long after that. I didn't really get him long in the game. Even though I got him for like a few minutes of gameplay, I have to say he is one of my favourite characters in Fable 2. I fell in love with him in Fable 2. Especially when I shot Lucius at the end and he was like,
oh, I thought he'd never shut up.
I was like, moot. That's moot, because I also thought the same. That's why I shot him straight away, because he doesn't ever shut up. That's why he's so annoying and he's in the trash. Well, obviously he is going in the GOAT category, which takes me to Fable 3 Reaver. First of all, his glow up is just impeccable. He is a fine ass man, minus who voices him. His character, okay, we're not talking about who voices these people, okay, don't tell me who voices them. I don't need to know. All right, I don't need to know. The one that I need to know is Simon Pegg. Okay, I don't need to know anyone else. He is a fine gentleman in Fable 3. The issue is, oh my god, was he annoying. Put a sock in it, Reaver. Every single time I had something going on in my court, my royal court, he was there waffling on, like, most of his points didn't even make sense. These don't make sense. Like, your arguments aren't valid. They're unvalid. I'm going to put Reaver from Fable 3 in the lower category. So okay, but not impactful. Obviously you get him a lot more in Fable 3, which annoys me because I would have preferred to have him a lot more in Fable 2, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just the principle of the fact that he was so annoying. Rose, our big sister, Rose. I had so much beef with her. I had so much beef with her. Everywhere I went, if I went down an alleyway, she would block my way. I would not be able to get out of the alleyway. She just blocked my way. I didn't like her, but I was still pissed when she was shot, because that's my sister and only I can do that. I didn't really see her other than that, apart from when we went into the dream-like sequence and we were kicking chickens around. I didn't actually see her. I think I'm gonna put her in the lower category, so the okay but not impactful category with our Reaver. King Logan, my brother, King Logan. That man was a piece of work. That man, if he was my brother, I would be gone. He didn't hear from me again. First of all, I can see the similarities between Lucian and Logan. I have to say that Logan is 100 times better as a villain than Lucius. When I did keep him around and save him, I feel like a lot of people must have not done that because he was very glitchy.
Fences were able to hold off the worst of the
Why
first
did you give me that
attack.
side eye? A video in, I've probably been putting videos in over these anyway, but yeah, like when he kept looking at me, that made me giggle so much. Like the fact that Walter had just died and I was pissing myself over him doing that is enough. It's enough for me to like him. I think I'm gonna put him in the middle. He's slay. He's in the middle, he's a slay. Jasper. Jasper is literally everything to me. He is my servant, my memory, I don't know where I was going with that. Jasper is a huge part of the story. He is like up there with Walter in Fable 3. I feel like he is just such a massive part of the story. It would not be the same without him. I literally loved him from the moment we spawned into the sanctuary and he flopped onto the floor. That's my man right there. I even named one of my kids after him. I adopted 2 kids from the orphanage once I'd opened it, and I named the boy after Jasper. And for that, we're gonna put Jasper in the GOAT category. Paige is wifey material. She is baddie. She is a baddie. She knows she's hen. She a baddie. I forgot the lyrics, but you get my point. She is life. Paige is going in the GOAT category. Again, another one in the GOAT category. Next we have Sabine. Sabine was down to ride for his queen. Anything I wanted from that little man, he was ready to go. Once I had his back, he knew that he'd have mine. Like, he's like that sort of person that, like, once they know that they trust you, he goes down bad for you. He was exploding things for me, he was going to war for me. Aside from that, I can't be biased that just because he has someone called Boulder that I think is kind of cute with him, that I can't just keep putting them in these high categories, and I have to actually put them like how I think in the game. So I wouldn't have won the war without Sabine, but I'm going to put him in the slay category. If you watch my shorts, you know that I have a big fat stinking crush on Seika, so please just ignore what I'm about to say about Ben Finn, okay? Ben Finn, I feel like we got to know him really well. Like, out of all of the characters apart from Walter, he is like the one character that you get that really close bond with. You go through a lot with him, like the desert stuff, him Swifty, losing Swifty, you get to see that with him. You go through a lot with Ben. Ben is there through a lot of shit, fights alongside you in a lot of the battles. Not that he fights well.
Ben, no, I can't marry you if you're dead.
We'd be far down the line of enemies. I'd end up looking back, Ben's gone, I don't know where he is. I'll have to go all the way back, and he's stuck in a corner, being hit by a sword. I'm like, if you weren't a common character that's meant to be in this story, I think he would have died by now. Could have made him a bit of a better fighter. Like, I feel like even Walter was really good at fighting, but not Simon Pegg's character, Ben. Aside from that, he was definitely like my best friend in the series, and yeah, I feel like we really got to know him, and he was a really huge part of the story. I love Simon Pegg. Simon Pegg is one of my favourite British actors. We're gonna put him in the lower top. Ben Finn, he is a GOAT. The next one is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna be talking about Sir Walker, why did I say Walker like Walker Crisps? Sir Walter Beck. What a man, he is just, he is sugar daddy material. Like, if I was in the Fable universe, I would have whisked that man away and married him, and I would have saved him from his inevitable death. By the way, spoilers in this video, please don't watch this if you haven't watched my Fable series and don't know who dies yet. He was our best friend, our father figure, our like army warden, our freaking adventure friend. Like, he was everything. Ben Finn was there a lot of the time, but when we weren't with Ben Finn, you best believe that Walter was there with us through it all. I was so sad when he died. I didn't read that far ahead. I'm playing games, I do quite a lot of research, but somehow I didn't read anything about Walter dying at the end. Sir Walter Beck is going in the top column, the king of chickens. I bet you all thought I was going to put Seika there, didn't you? Think again. The top spot is for our Sir Walter Beck. Our last main character, I am going to be doing some honourable mentions of people that I think should be in the chart because they impacted my series in a certain way, but the last main character we have to place is my man, my husband, the love of my life, Seika. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. He is the man of my dreams. We get him for 10 minutes of the game, 10 minutes of playtime, and then you only see him like on posters and like the rip-off versions of him. You don't actually get to see him, but that's how much this man has impacted me as a woman in 10 minutes time, 10 minutes flat. He impacted me that much that I need to put him in the second to top column. He's going in the GOAT column, okay? Do you know what? Move him to the front of the column because he is the GOAT, okay? Everyone else in there, they're irrelevant now. Seika is the GOAT. Moving on to my honourable mentions of characters and the villains, like the monsters, stuff like that. First up, Brian, the Gnome King himself. From what I knew of Brian, I loved him. He's so funny. He's got no family, no friends. He's got like 50 of these gnomes. I don't know why. People are gonna be like, why has he impacted your Fable experience so much? I don't know. I don't know. I love him. He's got a pointy hat. He's funny. He doesn't even know, like, he doesn't have any friends, so he befriends his like his objects, which is clearly what I do, so maybe we'd get along. Aside from that, obviously he wasn't that big of a character in Fable 3, he was just there for the gnomes, so we're going to put him in the slay category. Next up we have the Balverines. I love the Balverines. Not fighting them is difficult. I think they're the coolest out of all of them, if I'm honest. I love that in Fable 3 you get a bit more of their lore and you get to find out that they're actually people. I'm gonna put them in the slay category. Oh god, we're taking it back to Fable 2 now. The trolls. Oh my god, the trolls. I never want to fight them again. They were a freaking nightmare. They are going in the trash. Trolls are going in the trash. It's a cool concept design. I love how it's different to like killing everything else, but I hated fighting them. Anytime there was a troll, I turned back around and stood there for 10 minutes swiping through the pictures to remind me who I'd like picked for this, and Gerald came up.
Next to you, she looks a bit boring now.
Immediately Gerald is going in the trash. Immediately he belongs in the trash column. Gerald he deserves it the most. Gerald is the main antagonist in Fable 3. He is the true villain, okay? Forget Reaver, forget Logan, it is Gerald. Gerald is the true villain. Next up we have Huxley. Huxley is in the DLC package. He's the robot that you get to meet on Clockwork Island, the one that doesn't turn evil. The rest of them do, but he's the one that you actually get a bit of story with. I was very disappointed when we went back to the island. Spoiler, by the way, we went back to the island in the last episode that I did of Fable. He'd committed the suicide with his other robot using an electrical storm or something, which I was quite sad about because I thought, oh, he'll live here forever now that he has his best friend. But no, I don't know why he did that, but he did. That's where Huxley is now. He's in Robot Heaven. R.I.P. Huxley. In the lower top, so the GOAT category, Chesty. I feel like Chesty had a huge part in this series. Like, I know you only see him for certain times, but I saw him in Sunset House in Fable 3 and in Garth's Tower in Fable 2. In Fable 2, I said before, I was really disappointed that I didn't get to see Garth again, but he made up for it because he was quite funny. It's just a funny little chest. In Fable 3, he showed up in Sunset House and I thought it was really cool. I got so excited because I love when like I'm playing a game from later in the series and it references something from one of the past games. I find that so cool. So yeah, I got a little bit excited when I saw him. Best friends forever. Slay. Chesty goes into slay. You don't get him a lot in the story, you only get him briefly, but he deserves a mention, I feel like, so we're going to put him in the slay category. The last one is, of course, the chickens. If you didn't know, the reason I put hi chickens and I have a little chicken in my avatar on my YouTube banner and stuff and my Twitch banner is because it sort of became this inside joke because I would kick chickens. Obviously you get called chicken chaser in like Fable 2 and in Fable 3. I was chasing a chicken in Fortnite and someone in my chat was like, oh, chicken chaser, and I was like, oh my god, that's a Fable reference. And it sort of became like an inside joke to like to just have chickens in my games because they were in all my games at the time when I first started. So that's the lore behind my art and stuff on my channel. Yeah, I don't just love chickens, it just became like an inside joke that I hope will stay an inside joke with like my first audience members. And we're gonna put him in the goat section. So he is a goat. Welcome to the goat section, chicken. And that means that we are coming to a close on our Fable video. If you like this video, please let me know down below because I want to start doing like more talking videos like on here, because obviously I'm not on cam at the moment. I didn't really explain why in my last video, but obviously I need to save and buy stuff like that, a webcam, a new microphone, like all of this stuff, a capture card even. I need all of that. I'm gonna have to save up over time. It's gonna be a work in progress. This channel, my stream channel, is all gonna be a bit of a work in progress, and obviously over time you might see things change. And let me know if you do like these sort of videos, because I want to, like, every time we finish a game, I want to rate the characters, and if you guys enjoy this one, then obviously we finished The Wolf Among Us, so I can do the Wolf Among Us characters as well and rate them, but only if you guys enjoy this sort of thing, so I'm not just gonna keep forcing content down your throat if you don't like it. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys like to watch, what you guys want to see. I will see you in the next one.